Hello, I'm Donna Bell,
And I'm Darren Elazaris.
and we want to welcome you to This Week in the Valley. Here you'll meet people that are making a difference in our community and learn about events taking place right here in our own backyards.
We have a great show, and joining us this week are Matt Carroll with Up with Ethel's Veterans Celebration, Chrisha Devlin with information on the Farm Bill, a healthy living tip on fear with Carol Klingsmith, Susan Dublin with Check Out Hunger. We have volunteering in the Valley with Gene Jones and Tricia Knowles, and Adam Brown, Josie Linder, and Jake Sullivan join us from Macon High School Drama Club.
Quite a show. But first, all gave some and some gave all. Tuesday, November 11th is Veterans Day. This is a time to show appreciation for those who are serving, to remember all those who have served, and pay tribute to those who paid the ultimate price for the freedoms we enjoy as Americans.
Do you feel that we as Americans take freedom for granted? Sometimes we forget that people in much of the rest of the world do not enjoy the many freedoms we have. Freedoms such as the freedom of religion. Here you are free to go to the church of your choice and to publicly acknowledge your faith.
Here we are free to work and to be anything we want to be. We have the freedom to vote and make our voices heard. Being in the Army is voluntary. It's not directed by law. We have the freedom of speech to say what is on our mind without persecution.
We are free to travel across borders and with a valid passport to travel into another country. We are free to send our children to the schools of our choice. Education is available to both genders and encourages a life choice to open doors for our children's future.
We have a democratic government that is not dictating our lives. Many of us are not proud of every part of our history, but believe in our vision that all men were created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights that are among these life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
We've experienced freedom because of brave men and women who have served in the military so that a government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Veterans Day is a day when every American should say thank you. Thank you for a freedom we should never take for granted.
Events honoring our veterans are held throughout the Valley. We encourage you to attend these events to show your appreciation for their sacrifices.
Atlanta School's Veterans Day program begins at 8:30 on Veterans Day, Tuesday, November 11th. The program will take place in the Atlanta C3 gym.
Green Hills Post 57 will host an event at Buckland School on Veterans Day at 8 a.m. Otho Bobernick, Al Petrick, and Frank Williams will have their military World War II history read by Legion Auxiliary members Wilma Jobson and Carolyn Payne.
They will also perform a narrative of the folding of the American flag. This is truly something to see if you've never experienced it. Each fold has a special meaning. The Honor Guard will present arms with Charles Hughes playing taps.
The Salisbury Student Council and the Salisbury Chapter of National Honor Society are hosting a Veterans Day Assembly on Veterans Day at 8:20 a.m. in the South High School gym.
All veterans, their families, and community members are invited to attend the assembly, which will honor local veterans and raise awareness that veterans are not nameless heroes. They are important members in our community.
In addition to the assembly, a pancake breakfast will be served in the high school cafeteria beginning at 7:30 a.m. that morning. Any veteran living in the Salisbury School District is invited to attend with his or her spouse.
Hale R1 School is changing it up and will celebrate Veterans Day with an assembly with all the students on Monday, November 10th at 1:30 in the school gym.
St. Joseph Catholic School in Salisbury will have a Veterans Day recognition beginning with a flag raising at 8 a.m., followed by a short program in the school gym. And Immaculate Conception School in Macon's Veterans Day program will be on Wednesday, November 12th at 9 a.m. in the church basement.
The Marceline VFW and American Legion will hold a Veterans Day service at Ripley Park on Veterans Day, the 11th, with music by the Marceline High School Band, a guest speaker, an MIA POW ceremony to conclude the service. Soup and chili will also be served at the American Legion following the service.
Father McCartan students will honor veterans at the 8:05 Mass on Veterans Day at St. Bonaventure Church, and the Marceline High School will have a veterans program on Veterans Day at 2 in the old high school auditorium, and all veterans are invited.
And on Saturday, November 8th, Up with Ethel is hosting a Veterans Day meal with entertainment by gospel music singer Matt Carroll. Matt joins Tom Morrill in the studio to tell us more.
Well, just recently we were graced by a singer on Sheraton Valley Television at the Ethel Community Center, and guess who's going to be back? We have Matt Carroll. You stopped in to talk to us a little bit today.
Yes, sure did.
And you're going to be back at Ethel pretty soon.
Yes, this Saturday, Saturday the 8th of November, we're going to be back up there for an evening of just a good time with the Ethel community there at the Ethel Community Center with Nick and Nadine Wooden. And I just want to invite everybody up for that evening.
Wonderful, and I think, is that, they doing something kind of special for veterans?
Yes, that's going to be the focus this time. It begins at 5, and there will be a meal, and the meal is on a donation basis, beginning at 5, and veterans will eat free that night. There'll be no donation expected from veterans, and then throughout the evening we will have some gospel music and patriotic music for entertainment for the evening, as well as a silent auction.
All right. Well, that's really great. Now, was there anything else about that particular thing? I think that's pretty much covers it all.
Pretty much covers it.
Ethel this Saturday, 5 o'clock.
Yes, and the Buckland Honor Guard team is an Honor Guard team from Buckland going to be there. Also wanted to mention them. They're going to start things off and then close things down after the event is over. And so we just want everybody in the community, surrounding communities, to come out and enjoy an evening of food, fellowship, and some music. And be myself, a lady named Shirley Carroll DeWeese, and she's from the Brunswick area, kind of north of Brunswick, and a gentleman named Richard Ware, and he is known kind of as the singing truck driver. He's a truck driver, but he writes gospel music and sings gospel music, country style gospel music, as well as myself, and we'll do some things with my family. My girls will be there with me to sing some too, and we're just looking forward to a great evening, and most of all to honor the Lord and honor our veterans at this time of the year, Veterans Day.
Yeah, the Ethel Community Center is a really neat thing out in there.
It is. It's, I think Nick and Nadine have built that up, and if you need directions, of course, I guess you could call me. 660-676-0590 is my phone number. But if you just go to New Cambria on Highway 36 and go north on 129 up towards Ethel, and when you get to town, you take a left, go about a block, take a right, and you can't miss it. Hopefully there's going to be just hundreds and hundreds of people.
All right.
And we're looking forward to a good time there.
All right. So your singing and your family involvement with all of that, and you have your girls singing. That's I just saw the video here recently, the last time you were up at Ethel. So tell me a little bit about that ministry. That I don't know if your hobby or what.
It kind of is. It's kind of it is a ministry. The purpose is to share the good news of the gospel. And wherever there's an open door for us, we've traveled to several local states and had the privilege and blessing to sing and to share with people and meet a lot of good folks. And the schedule was pretty full this year, but for about 3 years we've been doing this as a solo ministry. So yeah, it's kind of a side thing. It's not what I do full time. I have a full-time job beside that, but we really enjoy going to these events and meeting new people. And then going back to some of the places we've already been, such as the Ethel Community Center, where we've made some good friends, and joining them and helping out with events like this.
So your girls, you got them. They know all the words to all the songs. Right?
Most of the time, if I'm singing on stage by myself and forget some words, I can usually look down at them and they know the words as well as I do because they've heard them so many times. But there are getting to be more and more songs where they're able to come right on stage and sing with me. And I'm encouraged about that with, what the future holds for us as a family and the opportunities we're going to have to use this ministry.
Wonderful. I'm sure they practice with you at home.
Oh, yeah.
Every night.
Oh, maybe not every night, but pretty regularly. And when we travel in the van, that's music going all the time. So music's been a part of my life since I was, before I can even remember. My dad had me singing at church, and so I just feel blessed and honored to have the opportunity to share with folks what God's blessed me with. So.
Well, wonderful. Well, Matt Carroll, this Saturday, 5 o'clock is when dinner starts, or entertainment, or?
I believe the dinner starts at 5 o'clock, and then after that will be I think the silent auction goes until 6 maybe. And then we're going to start off and just enjoy the rest of the evening with some music and fellowship time. So come and join us.
Well, great. Ethel, this weekend.
Thank you, Matt and Tom. Let's not forget that over the years, many people had to sacrifice their lives for our great country. Honor our veterans this Veterans Day with your presence, a handshake or a hug. Our thanks to every veteran in America.
The Agriculture Act of 2014, also known as the Farm Bill, ushered in the most sweeping changes to U.S. farm policy in nearly 2 decades. Among the biggest changes for crop producers is the elimination of direct payments.
The University of Missouri Extension Office is hosting a Farm Bill seminar on November 11th. Our next guest, agribusiness specialist Carissa Devlin with the Extension Office, joins us with all the details.
Farmers, if you have any questions about the Farm Bill, you do not want to miss this Farm Bill seminar. And I'm pleased to have Carissa with us to tell us more. Welcome.
Thank you.
You've been with the university for 12 years?
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm an agriculture business specialist, and I cover 6 counties here in the northeast part of the state. And I work primarily with farmers, and I help them with anything from marketing to financial matters to even estate planning.
So there's a Farm Bill out there. There's maybe some questions about it. So you're going to touch on just a piece of the Farm Bill. Tell us about the seminar that's coming up.
Okay.
It's November 11th, right?
That's correct. Well, the Farm Bill, of course, is very broad, but we're going to concentrate just on the commodity portion of the Farm Bill. And this Farm Bill is a game changer for farmers. It's totally different from anything they've seen in the past. The ACRE program and the direct countercyclical payment program has been eliminated, and it's been replaced by something called PLC, which is price loss coverage, and ARC, or ARC, which is agricultural risk coverage. And these two programs, once again, are completely different from anything they've ever seen before. And our purpose with the Farm Bill seminar that we're going to have is just to educate farmers about the choices that they're going to need to be making. And this is very important because the choices they make for their farms will be in effect for the next 5 years until the next Farm Bill. And in this seminar, we'll educate them about ARC and PLC, and we'll also give them some knowledge about a decision tool that they can use, which is a spreadsheet-based tool that can help them in figuring out which option is going to work best for their farm.
Sounds like it's very informational and important information.
Very important.
So it's taking place on Tuesday, November 11th, and it'll be at the
correct.
Expo Center.
Yes, the Expo Center here in Macon, Missouri.
Okay, and you have to pre-register.
We do like you to pre-register. We are offering a free meal with this, and so just for the meal count and to have an idea how many people are coming, we ask you to pre-register by November the 5th.
And how do they do that?
To pre-register, they can contact the Knox County Extension Office at 660-397-2179.
Very good, very good. Well, if they have any questions before then, is there a place they can go and look for some more information? Is there information out there on the website?
The best way would probably be to contact the Knox County office, and then we can direct them to a flyer that'll give them some more information.
Oh, very good. Well, farmers, if you have any questions, they are the experts. They know. They can help you through anything that you might have with just understanding the new bill, and there's just a lot to cover. So
there is a lot to cover, and with this meeting, we will be having some other educational meetings throughout this winter. Farmers have until March the 31st to make the decision about their PLC or ARC election. But what's so special about this meeting is we're bringing in some nationally renowned experts and policy insiders, and they will be sharing their knowledge with the farmers. The individual, Dr. Joe Outlaw, who actually developed the decision tool that we will be using, he will be there to show it to farmers and talk about how they can use it.
well, very good. It sounds like something they don't want to miss. This is a grand opportunity.
Yes.
It's all taking place November 11th at the Macon Expo Center, starting at what time?
10 o'clock, it'll be 10 till 2.
And lunch is provided, so
Yes.
it's all good. So, well, Carissa, thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it, and we hope it's a great success. And the future meetings, let us know. We'll make sure we share that with our viewing
Okay.
audience.
We'll do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Following our interview, Carissa mentioned that even though March is the deadline to decide PLC or ARC, farmers need to start thinking about it now, because what may work for your neighbor may not work for you, and you may choose differently based on crop. So So we thank Carisha and hope farmers attend this informative seminar.
Your immune system is the defense mechanism your body uses to keep you safe from bacteria and viruses. It's incredibly powerful, stronger than most people realize.
Our next guest is no stranger to CBTV. It's Carroll Klingsmith with a healthy living tip on fear and how it affects the immune system.
You are watching Healthy Living, and I am Carroll Klingsmith. We've been talking lately about aging gracefully, and today we want to continue along that line and talk about fear and how fear can actually prevent you from aging gracefully. Now, fear can be good. If there's a tornado and you look out the window, that immediate fear, you head for the basement and you survive. Or maybe you're driving down the highway in your own lane and somebody crosses over coming towards you head on, and that instant panic gives your adrenal glands, give you what you need to be able to be alert and have the muscles to swerve and avoid the accident. But in today's world, with so much information, 24-hour news channels, Facebook, instant messaging, all the social media, we are constantly given information, and sometimes we're constantly in fear. Do you have any idea what that can do to your body? The body's not meant to have cortisol come from the adrenal glands for fear constantly. Fear is supposed to be there for an emergency. So constant fear is going to decrease your immune system. And actually, even the threat of constant fear can make you sick. In a research project conducted by Roxanne Cohen-Silver, a psychology professor at the University of California, people who listened to a lot of news within the first week after the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013, those people reported more acute stress than did the people who were actually at the marathon. That's kind of amazing. In another study on panic and various disasters, Anthony Mawson, a visiting professor at Jackson State University in Mississippi, found that while physical danger is presumed to lead to mass panic, in actuality, in physical emergencies, people actually tend to help each other. And so, again, the stress is lower than actually the threat of fear. I thought that was really interesting. So, what are we seeing in the news nowadays that causes fear? Ebola. The threat of an illness that's infected only 2 nurses in the United States, because remember the gentleman who came over from Africa had gotten the disease in Africa. This seems to make people want to hide and shut things down because they're afraid, very afraid. So remember, we said constant fear, and even the threat of constant fear can make you sick. Now, also, just a footnote, these 2 nurses actually were taking care of this gentleman when his disease was at its height, and he was the most contagious. And according to the National Nurses Organization, who actually went into the hospital to find out, or talked with the nurses to find out what went on at that hospital, and had a nationwide call last week with nurses, said that those 2 nurses were not provided the protective gear that they needed. So even though this situation is not something that the average person would find themselves in, there's still a lot of fear. So what can you do to protect yourself? We all want to know the truth about how Ebola can spread, and there's been an awful lot of conflicting information. But what I would suggest, one of the things, is try to take a news break. I know you want to know what's going on, but I know I've gotten caught up. You can sit and watch, and you don't even realize you've been there for an hour, or 2 hours, or 3 hours. Find out the news, get up, and take a break. Don't listen to it constantly. Remember, we said earlier, even the threat of Ebola can make you sick. We know we've been given conflicting information about how Ebola can spread. There are some doctors who have said, contrary to what the CDC says, that Ebola can be spread by airborne virus like a cold. And that can be very frightening. But there's still something you can do besides lock yourself and your family in the house, and that is to strengthen your immune system. That's the very most important thing you can do to protect yourself, not only against Ebola, but against all viruses, even chronic diseases like cancer, is to get your immune system in tip-top shape. Research has shown that a healthy immune system can allow a person to not only avoid contacting a disease, but may well make them resistant to it. Well, we don't have time today to tell you how to strengthen your immune system, so we hope that you will join us here next time at Healthy Living when I will give you some tips for supercharging your immune system. So don't forget, take that news break. Join us again here next time on Healthy Living for 10 ways to supercharge your immune system. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.